Every age thinks it's too smart to fall for madness. And yet, history shows intelligence doesn't save us from illusion. Sometimes it makes the illusion stronger. In the 1630s, the Netherlands was the envy of Europe. The Dutch had broken free from Spain, ruled the seas with their merchant fleets, and built the richest trading nation on earth. Amsterdam's canals glittered with prosperity. Art, science, and commerce flourished. And then, of all things, it happened. The richest people in Europe lost their minds over flowers. Tulips. They weren't native to Europe. They'd arrived from the Ottoman Empire, exotic and rare. Their colors were unlike anything the Dutch had ever seen: deep crimson, snow white, gold-striped, and the rarest of all, the broken tulips, with flame-like patterns caused by a virus no one understood. They were beautiful, fragile, and, most importantly, scarce. At first, tulips were a luxury of the elite. Collectors and nobles traded bulbs like jewels. But soon, a new class of traders emerged. Bakers, ship captains, blacksmiths. Everyone wanted him. By the early 1630s, tulip prices began to rise. A single bulb could sell for more than a skilled craftsman earned in 10 years. Some bulbs changed hands dozens of times before they ever touched soil. A new kind of market was born, the first futures market. People bought and sold promises, contracts to deliver bulbs months later. It didn't matter whether the tulip existed. What mattered was that someone else would pay more for it tomorrow. Sound familiar? It was speculation in its purest form, the illusion of value divorced from reality. And like every bubble in history, it didn't start with greed. It started with confidence that prices only go one way. Confidence that you're smarter than everyone else. Confidence that you can get out before the crash. But no one ever does. By 1636, Tulip Mania had reached fever pitch. One legendary bulb, the Semper Augustus, was said to be worth the price of an Amsterdam townhouse to 10 years of wages, for something you could crush beneath your shoe. People sold land to buy bulbs. They mortgaged homes, formed clubs, and toasted their coming fortunes in taverns. The Dutch, masters of trade and reason, had turned their economy into a garden of illusions. And then, one cold February night in 1637, the unthinkable happened. At an auction in Haarlem, no one bid, not one buyer. Maybe they hesitated. Maybe someone decided the price was too high. But that moment of doubt spread like wildfire. Within days, the market froze. Prices collapsed. The same contracts that had made men rich now made them destitute. Banks demanded payment. Merchants defaulted. Fortunes evaporated overnight. A bulb worth thousands of florins one week couldn't buy a loaf of bread the next. The madness was over. And in its place, silence. The aftermath wasn't just financial. It was psychological. People didn't understand how it had happened. How the most rational nation in Europe could lose itself to fantasy. But that's what bubbles do. They disguise themselves as progress. They make you feel smart, connected, chosen. They whisper, "This time is different," except it never is. The crash of Tulip Mania didn't destroy the Dutch Republic, but it left a scar. It taught a generation that markets can turn irrational, that beauty can become madness, and that the crowd is the most dangerous investor of all. Economists still debate how big the real damage was. Some say the impact was limited to a small group of traders. Others argue it was the world's first true financial collapse. But the truth lies deeper, because every modern bubble, from dot-com stocks to cryptocurrency, carries tulip DNA. Every one of them begins with the same seed, a story. The tulip wasn't valuable because it was useful. It was valuable because it symbolized status. Owning one meant you were part of something rare, beautiful, elite. That story was irresistible. And when enough people believed it, belief itself became the product. The same thing happens in every age. In the 1990s, people believed the internet would make every company unstoppable. In 2008, people believed housing prices could never fall. In the 2020s, people believed digital assets would make them free from banks and governments. Different century. Same dream. When prices rise, faith strengthens. When faith strengthens, prices rise higher. Until one day, someone just one stops believing. And the whole illusion collapses under its own perfection. Tulip Mania is not just a historical curiosity. It's a mirror. It shows how easily human beings can turn beauty into currency and trust into fuel for destruction. And yet, there's another lesson buried beneath the wreckage. After the crash, the Netherlands didn't crumble. It adapted. The same traders who had gambled on tulips went back to trading real goods, spices, timber, grain, ships. The Dutch learned to build financial systems strong enough to outlast emotion. Amsterdam became the birthplace of the modern stock exchange. They didn't stop believing in markets. They learned to respect them, because the real danger wasn't the flower. It was forgetting that value comes from use, not desire. From creation, not craze. The tulip taught humanity a priceless truth. You can't trade belief forever. The bubble always bursts. And when it does, all that's left is the question every empire, investor, and dreamer must answer. When the music stops, will you still have something real? Because beauty fades, trends vanish, markets crash. But wisdom, the ability to see illusion before it breaks, that's the rarest flower of all.